And welcome into Larry Miller Field, the side of the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. Dusty Litzner with you. So glad to have you along with us. The one-loss bracket game between Viewmont and Brighton. The winner moves on. The loser season is done. We'll start first with the Brighton Bengals at the plate, but let's go through the Viewmont defensive lineup. At first base, Siona Fiamani. At second base, Brody Hooper. At third base, Jackson Marble. And at short, Cal Miller. And in the outfield from left to right, Tegan Burnside in the left field. Center fielders, Austin Horlacher. And in right field, Braxton Brennenstall. And on the hill here in this game is Luke Jacobs. And catching for him in the battery is Max Lee. The lineup for the Brighton Bengals, who fell yesterday to the 17-seeded Woods Cross Wildcats, looking to bounce back today. It'll be Jack Saba, followed by Easton Fry, Riley Brown, Cooper Johnson, Braxton Basinger, Cooper Scott, Jack Johnson, Case Beams, and Austin Castor. And pitching today for the Brighton Bengals is Miles Layton, and we'll talk about him in the next half inning. But it'll be fun to watch Luke Jacobs, of course. Had an outstanding football year for Coach Drew Jones. This is a Division I athlete, a Division I quarterback. Imagine you'll see him at I'm trying to remember if he signed or not, but so let's start with Jack Saba. We'll dig in against Luke Jacobs. As in there for called strike one. The Luke football offers from Army, Southern Utah, Utah State, Weber State, and BYU. Was his college list as it's shown on 24/7. And that's in there for called strike two. Do a little more digging, go to his baseball or go to his Twitter page, and he lists SLCC baseball. Of course, Salt Lake Community College made it to the JUCO World Series for the first time in program history. And that goes wide of the plate. And shocking with a lot of the talent that's gone through Slick over the years. That's the first time. We got guys who've pitched and won games and have won World Series championships that have gone through Slick. And now the 1-2. Check swing. Yes, he did. Strike three. Drop third strike and a throw down to first. Oh, pulls him off the bag. And Fiamani able to get on top of that. So the drop third strike, and Jack Saba is retired for the first out in the inning. And now bring up the center fielder, Easton Fry. And a big swing there. Swung through and missed. Strike one. Slow breaking ball. Fouled off down the third baseline. Luke Jacobs on the year, 3-0 on the season, 1.42 ERA. Appeared in 14 games. Strange to see the appearance of 14 games and a 3-0 record. But the way that it worked out for this Viewmont team, 21-6 on the year. And a little bender is swung through and missed for the second out of the inning. So back-to-back Ks to start the game here for Luke Jacobs.
The third baseman, number 24, Riley Brown.
That brings up Riley Brown, the third baseman. Brown looks at strike one. Riley's a sophomore, 386 average. Drove in 24 runs, has 9 doubles on the year, 5 homers. And not only that, he's got some electric cleats, too. The umpire said, yes, he did. It's funny when you talk to baseball people about who you want calling check swings. I got friends of mine like, why in the world did I send him down the first base if the guy's standing right there? My answer is, if he's watching the ball, how is he watching the bat? There's all. He'll never make anybody pleased. As that ball is bounced. Umpires for today's game at first base is Lars Birkeland. At third base, Darryl Rogers. And on the plate, Kyle Anderson. And now the 1-2. And just stays alive. Does Riley Brown. Ball chopped to short. Up with it on his way to first. Faimani, did he stay on the bag? Mr. Umpire says he did. Tough throw. Cal Miller made the throw, and a nice job of Faimani. He's staying on the bag, but that'll do it for the top of the first. We'll go to the bottom of the first and get a chance to see the Viewmont Bats. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. And welcome back into Larry Miller Field, the bottom of the first inning, and a chance to see the Viewmont offense. But first, let's go through the Brighton defense. On the infield, at first base, Austin Castor. Second base, Braxton Biesinger. At third base, Riley Brown. And at short is Jack Sada. In the outfield, Cooper Scott in left field, Easton Fry in center, and Case Beams in right. And the pitcher today for the Brighton Bengals is Miles Layton. And the battery is he and Cooper Johnson, as Luke Jacobs, the starting pitcher for Viewmont, looks at ball one. The 1-0 hit well into center field. Carrying, still going back. Got time to go back and does make the catch. Luke Jacobs had the same thing yesterday. Mays Madsen was unable to pull it in, but this one was handled in center field. Nice job there by Easton Fry. The Bengal football coaching staff is going to be saying, hey, I wonder if we can get this guy to come and play wide receiver for us. Track that ball. It's a long way to go. Jacobs hit that ball 400 feet. At any other part in the ballpark, he's still rounding the bags. Got out in front of this one, lifted in the shallow right field. And Cal Miller retired by Case Beams, the starting pitcher from yesterday for the Bengals. And that brings up the right fielder, Braxton Berenstall. And Berenstall swung a good bat early in that game yesterday against the IA. The RBI double. Offers at that breaking ball and swings through it. Strike one. Now this Brighton team's extremely young. A lot of sophomores and juniors on this roster. Almost all of it will come back in key positions. As that breaking ball is wide of the plate. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. The 1-1. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. The ball chopped to the left side. Brown has it. Throw to first. Can't be scooped. But it will not be able to take second base as getting up the line like good catchers do. Cooper Johnson was there to back it up, take it off the screen. But Berenstall reaches on the throwing error. And that's extending the 2-out inning. That brings up Jackson Marble. Saw him on the hill yesterday in that game against Lehigh. So he throws a yard sale pitch. Loses his hat about every other pitch. Let's see the usage rate yesterday and what that looked like. Brian playing him straight up in the outfield. Third's back, hold him at first. As that ball is in, so called strike. And now the 1-1. Slow breaking ball lifted into left field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. So again, Viewmont extending the inning with 2 outs. And so 2 men on as Marble singles. Runners on first and second for the Vikings. But I think of Viewmont baseball, I think back to 07. Biss Larson, Alex Exxon, who's now the coach at Farmington. And that team, they just scored a ton of runs. It was a fun team. That brings up the catcher, Max Lee. That's a called strike. And of course, if you play sports at Viewmont, you're spoiled to have a PA man, Mr. Jeff, who is the voice of the Bees forever. The PA does state championships for the Activity Association. And that check swing did not go, no. Max Lee, a 306 hitter on the year, driven in 19 runs through 27 games reported by Viewmont. Love to pick up RBI number 20 with the base hit here. And swings through that one. Count now 1 ball and 2 strikes. So if you shorten up, got to hang. For Miles Layton. See if he goes with the dark one down the way. Slowed his bat up with that breaking ball. Maybe he goes down the way again if he comes up and in with the fastball. Fastball outer half. He crossed him up. Did go up and in. Didn't mean to. And keeps counting the ball and 2 strikes. And now the 1-2. Nope. Going to step off. Again, we got 2 more games after this one. I think a fun one. Salem Hills and Timpanogos. Always excited for games. I'm super excited for that one. And then Lehigh will take on Woods Cross. How about Woods Cross? 17-14 on the season. The number 17 seed went through the number 1 seed at Olympus. Still alive in the state tournament. And playing the winter bracket game against the defending 5A champion Lehigh Pioneers, who absolutely tore the cover off the ball yesterday. We've yet to have a home run in our first 5 games. Our first 5 and a third. Ball chopped to short, going to go short way to end the inning. Got 2 on, couldn't do anything with it. Brian does a nice job defensively in getting out of it. We go to the top of the second. We're scoreless. You're watching the 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. And welcome back in. Cooper Johnson going to lead things off. And that's strike 1 here to Johnson. catcher for the Bengals. And Johnson lifts this one out of play. 300 hitter. 7 doubles on the season. Drove in 22. That's 25 games reported. And now the 0-2. Jacobs misses wide. It's the Ricky Vaughn pitch. It's okay. And now the 1-2. And misses wide. And the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, breaking piece. Called strike 3. Hooting and hollering before the call made by our home plate umpire. That's the 3rd strikeout for Luke Jacobs. So, Braxton Biesinger, the second baseman, out of the plate. And that one bounced. Biesinger, a 400 hitter, 408. Apologize about the buzzing we had going into this inning. I think we got that one figured out. This ball hit into center field. And an easy one, a can of corn out there for Austin Horlacher. And I think we're maybe a play or two away from the history lesson that I share every year about where the term can of corn comes from. I don't think we're there yet. 2 outs. And stepping in is Cooper Scott. That one wide of the plate. Scott's got 4 doubles, 5 triples on the season. He, too, is a sophomore. You look at some of the top players, Scott, Brown, Saba, Turley, and Leighton, the pitcher, are all sophomores. The juniors with Johnson and Smith, Biesinger. The one guy we'll see today is Austin Castor. First baseman is a senior. He's the lone senior in the lineup I can find here. And that ball's fouled off at the plate. Just able to hang. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and nobody on for Cooper Scott. But a young and talented Brighton team. Still looking for their first run here at Larry Miller Field. Ground ball to second. That ball handled cleanly on the way to first from Brody Hooper. And that will do it for the top of the second inning. We go to the bottom of the second. Viewmont coming to the plate. You're watching the 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships. Bottom of the second inning. And I hope you're enjoying the coverage this week as Faimani hits this one down the right field line, and it's fair. The ball's going to get into the corner, and it kicks away. Faimani, is he going to test it? He is not. But Faimani with a leadoff double. It's something brewing here for the Vikings. But we hope you've enjoyed the coverage this week and you'll enjoy it the rest of the week. But just a reminder, when you're done watching the game, if you're watching this on the browser, go ahead and close your browsers. End the day, close out all the tabs, keep the internet from eating your phone. I'm not OCD about anything, but I can't handle notifications on my phone, tabs open on my browsers on my computers, or even apps running in the background on my phone. And that ball is lifted out of play. The other one is how many alarms you have listed on your phone. I got a family member, not my niece, I should say, my niece, who had alarms on her phone all the way back to high school. She's now a high school teacher and a mother, and she still had her alarms set. It blew my mind. A foul ball, so no balls and 2 strikes. At the plate, Brody Hooper recorded that last put out. But if you have feelings on that, you can go at me, at Dusty Litster on Twitter. Hooper, a .329 hitter, 15 RBIs on the year. Is that ball? Oh, called strike 3. The corners are hot. But here's the thing, and when I coach, I tell this pitcher all the time, hey, if you live in the zone, the strike's going to become like putty. And the more you hit it, the bigger it gets. And you kind of get benefit of the doubt, right? You go nibble the corner and you get it. I had to live through that watching Greg Maddux for all those years pitch for the Atlanta Braves. Him and Tom Glavine, John Smoltz, him working Steve Avery in that mix too over the years. Won't talk about a former closer there, and not Mark Wohler is the other one. He doesn't get airtime. Pickoff attempt to no avail. Didn't know we had a courtesy runner on first baseman, though. That was new. That's not Fiamani out there at second base. Didn't know first baseman we had courtesy runners open. Really early in the game to re-enter him on a pinch runner. I'll confirm on that rule change. First chance I get. So Logan Skidmore, the designated hitter at the plate. Check swing. Yes, he did, says Mr. Umpire. Never good when your third base coach gives you the hands out look. If it's at the umpire or if it's at the hitter, like, what are we doing? And that one misses. Count even. Or probably, I'm sorry. Goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Straight up baseball here. No signs. Got a freeze on the line drive at second base. And now the 3-1. Strike 2. See, we shorten up the approach here. But playing him shaded toward the right field line. And just able to hang on here with Skidmore. Logan's driven in 8 runs on the year. He's got a double, triple, and a dinger. And the payoff pitch. No, step back. That was the move to second's hard to get the balk on it. That was an interesting move. Holding him close at second. And now the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. And that's back-to-back Ks after giving up the leadoff double. So nice job here. The sophomore Miles Layton has a leadoff double from Fiamani. Has come back on a frontward and backward K. I go KC in my book and KS because I can never remember which one's which. Looking to bunt their way on with the third baseman back. Here with Tegan Burnside. Burnside with 5 runs driven in on the season. Looks at a ball. And they count even at a ball and a strike. And now the 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike 2. So a ball and 2 strikes to Tegan Burnside. As Miles Layton looking to strike out the side. Give up a leadoff double to Fiamani. And he's gotten back-to-back Ks because he's make it back-to-back-to-back Ks. And now the 1-2. Got out in front of it. This ball being shallow center field. And an easy one to handle. Easton Fry is there. And that'll do it. Through 2 complete, we're scoreless. Going to the top of the 3rd. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. So, Brighton's got a runner on. And at the plate now is Austin Castor. And fouled that one off, so 0-1 the count. As Chase Reams is away from first. And that one off the plate. Mentioned Castor, one of the rare seniors on this Brighton roster. As they look back, Fiamani tried to trick him. That's where the first base coach is there to help out. That's an outstanding move by Fiamani. That's in there for a called strike 2. Yeah, Fiamani gave it's a family feud. Good call. Just try to get him to move. And the 1-2 is out of the zone. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. And now the 2-2 from Jacobs. Swung on, strike 3. As Castor's retired for the 2nd down of the inning. And now bring up the top of the order and Jack Saba. And this Brighton offense has got to get going. As you mentioned, they have not scored since coming to Larry Miller Field. So yesterday and through nearly 3 innings of the game today, I'll be able to put up a run. This young team. This ball lifted into left field. Kind of caught it off the end of the bat. And coming in and rightfully taking control there, Tegan Burnside makes the catch, and that'll do it for the 3rd inning. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, and it's Viewmont and Brighton locked up at 0. You're watching the 5A State Tournament. And welcome back in. Luke Jacobs leads off the inning. As Jacobs is the pitcher and the leadoff man today. A lot of weather to the south of us as the chopper back. And Miles Layton makes the play to first. I love that Jacobs runs that out. But weatherman Dusty, there is a little bit of weather to the south of us, and the wind is blowing it southeast. So the bulk of everything is heading toward us. We should not get hit too hard. And as that is in there for a called strike 1 here for Cal Miller, the shortstop. What it does mean is that our picture looks terrific because even lighting. So Addison's really happy as Miller flips that one in the opposite field. And we got a one-out single for Cal Miller. But really see to make sure it's cloud covered during that 4:30 game, because it means we don't have the nasty shadows that cover up home plate. Because if you haven't been to Larry Miller Field, we got a canopy above the box, and it really creates in the afternoon in that 7 o'clock game crazy shadows that cover up home plate. The pitcher's in the light, hitters are in the shadow, and that makes it hard everywhere. As that ball's chopped foul. Braxton Bernenstall. Braxton's got a good cheering section. And now the 0-1. And Taylor made 4-6-3 double play. Nicely done by the middle of the infield. Taking care of business. Braxton Biesinger and Jack Saba. And that'll do it for the third inning. After 3 complete, we're still scoreless. We head to the top of the 4th. You're watching the 5A state tournament. And welcome back in. Easton Fry leading things off for the Bengals. It's Jacobs. We'll find the zone that one, and Fry in the shallow right field. An easy play there for Hooper. And quickly one away. And it brings up the bright shoes of Riley Brown. And that ball fouled back to the screen. Just mentioned Brown, one of the better hitters here for Brighton. 386 average, 9 doubles. We've got a triple and 5 homers on the season and driven in 24 runs. And the 0-1 from Jacobs, called strike 2. Is that the outer part of the zone pitch there? And now the 0-2 from Jacobs. Check swing. No, he did not. I don't think he did. There you go. I'll try to get answers from one of the best umpire trainers the country knows if he shows up to come check on our scoreboard person and get an explanation what the high school rule is on the check swing. He does wear it on the shoulder. I haven't mentioned the hit batsman because I did it last game, and we went back-to-back hit batsmen. I think we had 5 hit batsmen in the Orem game. That included the 5 they had yesterday. That was a combined number I just gave you. 1, 2. We had 5 hit batsmen last game. That was just the Orem lineup. And Jordan had 2. There was 6. That was our first one on this one. So, 1 ball, no strikes to Cooper Johnson, the catcher. And that one's inside. Ball 2. Mentioned Cooper Johnson batting .303 on the season. 7 doubles, 22 RBIs for the junior catcher. And now the 2-0. Offers, and that ball up the line and got over in time. You heard some thunder. We'll wait to see if umpires and if everybody calls this. Yeah, that was thunder. That was not a ball coming down the canopy. Because that gets pretty loud. So to the plate now is Braxton Biesinger, the second baseman.
Hey, what are you doing? Kim, how are you?
One of our base sumps for the next game's already here, reporting early. Doing good.
Check swings? Depends on which league you're in. High school, it's an attempt.
Defined as what? An attempt is defined as?
Umpire judgment.
As I said yesterday, there's no real...
In college, the barrel has to cross the front.
Okay. In college, the front hip has to... Okay. Because Mark Gubiza, if you're an Angels fan like myself, talks about every game. Hey, there's not a real definition of a check swing.
Yeah, VR in high school, it's intent.
Okay.
Intent judged by the umpire. College, it's the barrel has to cross the front.
Barrel has to cross... Okay. So B. Singer, a 408 hitter, has 23 RBIs, 7 doubles. Now the 0-1. Swung on, strike 2. Replay it. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on second. The go-ahead run at second base. I think Jacob's going to work down and away here. Will now lift it down the right field line, and we'll get into the bullpen. And we will do it again, no balls and 2 strikes. And now the 0-2 pitch. Big swing, and B. Singer goes down on strikes, and it's not a drop strike, so that will do it for the top of the 4th inning. Brighton got a runner in scoring position, couldn't bring him across. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still tied at 0. Welcome back in, Dusty Lidster with you. Bottom of the 4th inning, and coming to the plate is Jackson Marble. And Marble sends his ball in the center field, got enough topspin on it, going to fall in there. So a leadoff single for Jackson Marble. So again, a scoreless game. Brighton, remember yesterday it was a 1-0 ball game and we got a lightning delay. So lightning delay. We're going to have to pause here. So it'll be in the bottom of the 4th inning. A runner on first base. When we come back, a lightning delay. So we're going to have, I think it's 40 minutes? At least 30. So it'll be at least 30 in a lightning delay. We'll be right back. And after the lightning delay, welcome back. So, reminder, we're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Jackson Marble just singled for the Viewmont Vikings. And after a bunch of lightning strikes and everything else, we're finally cleared and ready to go. The lightning protocols, I mean, it can be frustrating for some. I understand it, but insured, all that kind of stuff. Got to make sure it's done right. So, back to the game we go. Give a little quick warm-up time and remind you that 4:30 game is Salem Hills and Timpanogos. And then the 7 o'clock game, Woods Cross and Lehigh. Right now, if we stay on the same clip we've been on going into this lightning delay, we'll probably still be ready to go on time. But which is the positive parts of a low-scoring or no-scoring game is we moved at a really good clip. But both teams are back and ready to go, and we will be as well. Miles Layton, the pitcher for the Bengals. It is funny, you get lightning delays in the major leagues, those pitchers are not coming back. High school kids go right back on them. Get back on the mound. And I say that as I like it. The high school guys are back out there. So here we go. So coming to the plate now is the catcher, number 5, Max Lee. Max is 0 for 1 today. Reached on a fielder's, grounded into an inning-ending ground ball. It was a fielder's choice. So again, we'll have a runner on first base No outs. And Max Lee coming to the plate. And that ball is wide of the plate. Max Lee on the year, batting .306. 9 doubles, 2 triples on the season, and has driven in 19 runs. So timeout in the box. As we've got lining delays all over the valley. So UVU still is about ready to be cleared and ready to go. Soccer has been held up as well. It's the second day in a row for soccer. Poor Alex Dapolis. I would say poor Alex, but he loves soccer. It's like me. I don't deal with rain delays and stuff like that at baseball. I'm okay with it. Alex chooses to go to RSL games all the time and does podcasts, so he's enjoying being in the soccer. And now the 3-0 to Lee is in there for a called strike. See him come back and even up the count here. 3 balls and 1 strike to Lee. See if they throw over to first. Nope. Pitch is wide of the plate, ball 4. So Lee draws a walk and puts runners on first and second for the Vikings. They're looking to finally break through here. Brighton is not giving up an earned run. Not only have they not scored, they've not given up an earned run. The run surrendered yesterday, and the loss to Woods Cross was on a passed ball in the top of the 7th inning in a 0-0 ball game. That brings up Siona Fiamani, and he doubled his only plate appearance, and they take the bat out of his hands with a bunt attempt, and he pops it up to the pitcher. I don't want to quote League of Their Own, but I might quote League of Their Own, but I really like high school coaches, and I think it's so good to ask guys to do things. But I was shocked you take the bat out of your best hitter's hands, and it's like asking Marla Hooch to do a suicide squeeze. So that brings up Brody Hooper. Just really surprised by that. Say that enough. So Hooper swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Hooper went down on strikes back in the 2nd inning. And the 0-1 misses. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, and 2 on. And that is off the plate, ball 2. Hitters count here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Nowhere to put him. Is Dylan the bottom of the order. 7, 8, 9 coming up. Well, 7 in the box, 8 on deck, 9 in the hole. And the 2-1. Hit sharply to second. 4, 6. And can't get the tag on him. So a nice slide. Remember the high school rule. He has to slide into the bag. You can't slide through the bag. He has to slide into the bag, and Mr. Official saying that's what the speed-up runner did, or the courtesy runner did. And Hooper will reach on the fielder's choice. So Brian can have a quick conversation. I don't know if he's near a pitch count limit. Supposed to be going over some defensive stuff here. 2 outs, runners on first and third. Probably going over a double steal situation, making sure they know where they're heading with the ball, what they're doing, because they're only at 47 pitches so far for Miles Layton. We saw last night with Salem Hills. Salem Hills got an insurance run, running double steal or an early go steal. The runner stays. Nice job of Johnson at the plate, keeping that ball in front. Cooper Johnson. So at the plate is Logan Skidmore, the designated hitter. Skidmore went down on strikes back in the second inning in his only plate appearance. Eight RBIs on the year. Looks like and the runner goes. And they just let him take it. Let him take the bag. So a stolen base there for Hooper. Puts 2 ducks on the pond. And the 2-0. Strike 1. Two balls and 1 strike, 2 out and 2 on. Bender swung through strike 2. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 on, 2 out. Fastball misses. Count runs full. 9-hitter on deck, Tegan Burnside. But a chance for the Vikings to break through here. And the payoff pitch. Wide of the plate, ball 4. Going to load the bases. And kind of the lesson here, the youngsters, is that double play ball, in high school rules, you have to slide to the bag. Can't slide through it. But it's still going in hard to the bag. That's what changes. That's what changed this whole inning. That was a 4-6-3 tailor-made double play ball. But that strong base running, not just giving up the out, made the difference here. Now your base is loaded, 9-hitter at the plate. You're going to have to make Miles Layton throw strikes. And he finds the outer part of the plate for strike 1. Tegan Burnside flew out to center in his only plate appearance. And then tries suicide squeeze. What was it, safety squeeze? As well as in a straight steal, come down the line and give him a chance. And Burnside fouls it off, so no balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 swung through, strike 3. Got in a jam, and Miles Layton able to pitch himself out of it. Gets the K, and that will do it for the 4th. We go to the top of the 5th, still scoreless. You're watching the 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. Top of the 5th inning. Leading things off is Cooper Scott, the left fielder. Jacobs is at 47 pitches. It's around that 80 mark. You got to be smart as a head coach, especially we're here on Tuesday. That ball hits sharply to second base. Hooper up with it over to first. Fiamani with the dig. And Scott retired for the first out of the inning. That brings up Jack Johnson. So many Jackson Johnsons in the state, and Jackson decided to go, hey, I'm going to be Jack. I don't know if it's because their moms really loved the great music in the early 2000s of Jack Johnson, the smooth tunes when they're on the boat. As that ball hit well by Jack Johnson. Ball looked like it hit the alley, and it does. Bounces off the wall. Johnson going into second, get around. No, he's not. He'll hold up at second base, and it's a stand-up double for Jack Johnson, the designated hitter. Only their second base runner for the Bengals to reach second base today. In fact, yesterday, the same kind of situation here for Brighton. They just didn't have a lot of opportunities to score runs. Didn't have their first runner in scoring position until the third inning, and only had two on the morning. A little Bender does not find the plate, says Mr. Umpire. So it's Chase Beams at the plate. He was the starting pitcher yesterday. The 1-0. Jacobs blows it by him. 83 mile an hour. And the 1-1. On the day, Beams singled to right field back in the third. Johnson's going to freeze on a line drive. Got to see the ball through the infield. Does not have to advance to third. Remember, high school baseball does not have the new Major League rule, the pitch clock and how many times you can call timeout, throw back, or anything like that. And the 1-1 hit well down the left field line, but foul. Goes into the bullpen. And this ball hit well in the left field, but already playing back on him. Makes a catch. Johnson going to tag him, go for third, and does advance. Man, you see how far they slide on this field turf. So Chase Beams able to advance Johnson 90 feet away from giving Brighton the lead. And that'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Austin Castor. I'm sure someone out there saying Castor. The 9-hole hitter, top of the order coming up next. And Castor fouls that one back to the screen. Austin went down on strikes back in the third inning. It's just been a very strong performance from Austin Horlacher. Or check that for Luke Jacobs. And Jacobs comes upstairs and gets the swing and a miss from Castor. The 0-2. Bender, no. Shaped the plate, but off the plate. I think a good call there from the umpire. 1 to burn, up 0-2. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 out, and a runner on third. Fastball back into the screen. We'll keep the count of ball and 2 strikes. And again, the 1-2 from Jacobs. Bender well wide of the plate this time. Again, be ever aware of the wild pitch or pass ball. Jack Johnson's got to read it. And now the 2-2. And wide of the plate. Count runs full. There's obviously a base open, but you go to the top of the order. Jack Saba on the on-deck circle. And now the payoff pitch. Bender, strike 3. Brighton had a chance. And Jacobs goes 3 straight breaking balls, and the third one finds the plate. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning, and we're still tied at 0. You're watching the 5A State Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. Top of the 5th inning, and we're starting at the top of the order for Viewmont. It's Luke Jacobs looking at ball 1. Oh, pardon me, bottom of the 5th. Thank you, Jerem. This ball lifted into left field. It's tailing, a little tough in this sky. It's going to fall. You can tell partway through that ball that left field didn't have a good eye on it. The ball is offline, and Jacobs is going to reach on the air and then advance to third on the throw. Cooper Scott could not see that ball. We're going to give him a hit. So we'll give him a double and takes third on the throw. So Jacobs on third. Cal Miller to the plate. Cal is 1 for 2 today with a single back in the 3rd inning. He was a starting pitcher yesterday for the Vikings. .446 hitter on the year. This is going to score him, no doubt. This ball tailing toward left field, makes the catch. And the tag and score from Luke Jacobs. And the Vikings take a 1-0 lead in the bottom of the 5th off the sacrifice fly from Cal Miller. So 1-0 Vikings. And it's crazy thing that Brighton's only allowed 2 runs through 2.5 games. Or pardon me, a game and a half. And it's Barron Stahl swinging through the first pitch. Baxter reached on an error in the first. Hit into a double play in the 3rd. And the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes. And now the 0-2. Is sharply to second. The ball handled cleanly by Braxton Biesinger. 2 away.
Jackson Marble.
And I'll bring up Jackson Marble. Marble is 2 for 2 with a single in the first and a single in the fourth. And that one misses. Ball 1. And now the 1-0 misses wide. The count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Runs the 3 balls and no strikes here on the 4-hole hitter, Jackson Marble. The 3-0 pitch finds the outer part of the plate for strike 1. The .337 hitter chops this one to short. Nicely coming in on the charge, and that will do it for the bottom of the 5th inning. The leadoff man gets on and scores in the form of Luke Jacobs, and it is Viewmont 1, Brighton 0. We go to the top of the 6th. Brighton down 1. You're watching the 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com. So Brighton trailing by 1, and we'll start the top of the 6th, the top of the order. Jack Saba yet to reach today for Jack. And Brighton's desperate to get something going. Only 2 runners have gotten into scoring position for the Bengals, and only 4 in their 2 games here at Larry Miller Field. You know, this young crew has the ability to get it going. And now the 1-0. Strike 1. And now the 1-1 from Jacobs. Chops it at the plate as foul. And we'll bring it back 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jacobs at 65 pitches thus far. Been economical. Has 6 strikeouts on the afternoon as well. And now the 1-2 from Jacobs. As wide the plate, and the count evens up at 2-2. Well, appears our 4:30 game is going to get pushed back a little bit. Thanks to the rain delay, we were going to be early. And because of a headwind, we're getting delayed. And that pitch misses. The count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Get our 4:30 game, Salem Hills and Timpanogos. Going to be a fun one. That's going to be delayed just a little bit because of the lightning delay we had earlier. And the payoff pitch. Wide of the plate, ball 4. Oh! I know I'm a distance away. I was well wide of the plate, it felt. Yeah? Scorekeeper Elena agrees. Yeah. She's a catcher, so she could have framed that one too. That's a big frame. So 1 away, Jack Saba. It's got to be subtle. Chad Wallach is actually one of the best framers in Major Leagues. Catcher for the Angels. Guy is so good. So the 1-0 pitch. Swung through by Easton Fry to count even at a ball and a strike. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out for Easton Fry, the center fielder. Fry is yet to reach today. Went down on strikes in the first. An infield fly in the fourth. And that's in there for called strike 2. Looking for the breaking ball here, up 1-2. Got it, chopped it to short. Over to first in time. 2 away. And the ball cleanly handled by Cal Miller. As mentioned, Miller was a starting pitcher yesterday for the Vikings. Always interesting to watch those guys make throws the day after they pitch. Granted, these high school guys are they recover faster than others, but when you throw as many pitches as Cal did yesterday, you're always curious to see how sharp they are throwing up all to first base. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Riley Brown. That one's well wide of the plate. Brown reached on a hit by pitch his last at bat. Line drive right at Cal Miller. Hit it on the screws, but Miller right there. And that will do it for the top of the 6th inning. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 1-0 Viewmont leads. You're watching the 2023 5A State Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. And welcome back in. Dusty Litster with you. Bottom of the 6th inning. And Viewmont looking for some insurance runs as we'll go to last bats for Brighton at the top of the 7th. Looking for insurance runs here in the bottom of the bottom of the 6th inning. I speak in riddles sometimes, I understand. Max Lee, the catcher, goes after that one. Foul territory up that first base side, and love the effort. I love the effort there from Castor. And that one misses. The 1-1. Wide of the plate. Count goes to 2 balls and a strike. I got to tell you, Miles Layton pitched a very, very good game. I mean, you look yesterday, and Case Beams pitched a good game. Like 7 innings, only gave up the 1 run. And as we mentioned, it was on a pass ball after a walk. But now I got to bounce back, down 3-1 in the count. He's done a nice job, his Miles Layton, scattered into 5 hits. 5 hits from the Vikings. He's been able to scatter them, only allowed the 1 run. As that's in there for a called strike 2. So the count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. The run came last inning after the leadoff triple. Well, leadoff double, and taking third was Luke Jacobs. He came in to score on a sacrifice fly. And the payoff pitch. Shot back to the mound. Handled easily there by Miles Layton. And Max Lee retired for the first out of the inning.
Now batting first base with number 19, Siona Faimani.
So Faimani will come to the plate. Siona doubled. And then last inning was asked to bunt with runners on first and second. Popped up to the pitcher. And now a chance to see if he can spark something here for Viewmont. The ball chopped to the first base side, handled easily there by Castor, and retired for the second out of the inning is Fiamani. So 2 outs, and I'll bring up the second baseman, Brody Hooper.
Now batting the second baseman, number 14, Brody Hooper.
And that one's wide of the plate. And the 1-0 is off the mark. 2 balls and no strikes. Hooper went down on strikes in the second, reached on a fielder's choice back in the fourth. Looks at strike 1 here, and the count goes to 2-1. That 2-1 pitch is wide of the mark, and count goes to 3 balls and a strike to the junior, and the second baseman, Brody Hooper. The 3-1 fouled off, and the count was full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So again, full count, 2 outs. And that's fouled out of play. The winner moves on to play tomorrow at 1:30. And this ball lifted into center field. And on the run, making the catch is Easton Fry for the 3rd out of the inning. So last chance opportunity coming up for the Brighton Bengals. It is Viewmont 1, Brighton 0. Last chance for Brighton. When we come back, you're watching a 5A state tournament on KSLSports.com. Top of the 7th inning, and Brighton's got to score a run to extend the game. And they'll have 4, 5, and 6 coming up. So we'll start first with Cooper Johnson. Johnson's a .303 hitter on the year. 7 doubles. And needs to get a start here for the Bengals. Remember yesterday they had the game-time run on. They could not bring him in. And look at ball 1. A young group here for Brighton High School. All these guys will all be coming back. Many of them the next 2 years, as that's in there for a called strike. Jacobs looking for the complete game shutout. And the 1-1 leaves that ball up. 2 balls and a strike now. The 2-1. Swung through, strike 2. And Johnson went down on strikes in the second. Little chopper from the plate back in the in the 4th. And now the 2-2. And he stays alive. The last outs are the hardest outs to get. If you're Viewmont. And Johnson looking to extend this at bat. The 2-2 pitch. Well wide of the plate. Ball 3. Not much to bemoan there. I mean, it was well off the plate. Now, granted, we have seen the player punched out. I want to say exact same spot. Similar spot. That was well wide. So now the payoff pitch. Breaking ball chopped to the third base side. All the way to first. In time. Just in time. This would be one of the things to be going back to Secaucus, New Jersey, if this was the major leagues. I'll take one more look at it. I think just in the nick of time there. And I think if you've watched most of our games, if I disagree, I would share I disagree. I thought that was just in time. Braxton Biesinger now comes to the plate, the second baseman. And that one misses. Ball 1. Swung through, strike 1. So count even at a ball and a strike. That's like the family photo in the middle of the last at bat. Salem Hills getting in the ballpark, and it is graduation day at Salem Hills. We'll have some seniors walking here at the ballpark. That's off the plate, ball 2. And now the 2-1. Well off the plate. Count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike to the second baseman, Biesinger. Flew out to center in the second, down on strikes in the 4th inning. And has a chance to put the game-tying run on the base paths. And now the 3-1. In there for called strike 2. Love this decision. Don't need him to hack on a breaking ball on 3-1. We're squaring up something straight. So here we go. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got to find any way on. If you're Braxton Biesinger. Cooper Scott up next. Then Jack Johnson. And now the 3-2. Wide of the plate, ball 4. Now that was off the plate. I said everyone gets a little skewed on the one that was a punch out that we agree. The battery up here agrees that was off the plate, but get a little skewed on that one. That was definitely a ball. So, courtesy runner going to come on here. And it is number 1, Easton Smith.
Easton Smith now running the first base.
So coming to the plate now is the left fielder, Cooper Scott. And the game-tying run is on first base. Corners up, holding him at first. Middle's back for a game-ending double play. And Scott, off the end of his bat to the right side, going to advance the runner. So now the game-tying run is in scoring position. Scott retired for the second out. So now it's up to Jack Johnson.
The designated hitter, number 27, Jack Johnson.
Johnson doubled his last at bat back in the 5th. He flew out to center. And his only other plate appearance. The double to the left side. Remember, he got that ball to the wall his last at bat. They're going to intentionally walk Johnson. And not going to let the one bat that's hurt him today hurt him again to extend it. But I also want to remind coaches, you request time. You don't get time. This isn't basketball or football. You don't get to go out and say, hey, time out, time out. I said it before you pitched it. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. I grant time. You're requesting time. So luckily, Mr. Umpire backed out and didn't allow the pitch to come in. So runners on first and second after the intentional walk to Jack Johnson. And that brings up Chase Beams. And Chase looks at ball one. Beams singled to the right side back in the 3rd. Flew out to left his last time up. But the go-ahead run is on first base. And the 1-0. In there for a called strike. Easton Smith, the courtesy runner at second base. And now we'll have a little mini conference. Again, Jacobs looking for the complete game shutout. And we'll put Viewmont in the 1:30 game tomorrow. They will face, the winner of this game will face the loser of Woods Cross Lehigh. And now the 1-1 misses upstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. As mentioned, Beams single to the right side. We got corners back. Double play depth for the middle infield. Kind of shadowing toward second base. So there's room to the right side. As he does flip this one to the right side. Will it get down? It does. And the game time run's going to come in. Easton Smith scores. And we will have a bottom of the 7th inning. And the game-winning run, Jack Johnson, who was intentionally walked. And the go-ahead run is at third base. And now to the 9-hole hitter, Austin Castor. Now is off the plate, ball 1. Castor has gone down on strikes in both of his plate appearances today. But can put all that frustration to bed with a base hit that would give Brighton their first lead of the day. That's up and in. Ooh, Jack Johnson slipped at third base. His secondary lead, he lost his footing. And now the 2-0 from Jacobs. Soft fly ball in the infield. Hooper calls it and takes it. But it is Chase Beams coming through with an RBI single. This sends us to the bottom of the 7th inning, tied at 1. Viewmont coming to the plate. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. Bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for Viewmont. And we'll start with Logan Skidmore. Tegan Birdside on deck. In fact, he's being pinch hit for. We'll have that momentarily. And then top of the order we go with Luke Jacobs. That's ball 1. And Logan looks at ball 2. Miles Layton is going to go the distance here, attempt to, for Brighton. Back-to-back days. The pitchers have gone in the 7th inning. And there's strike one. Two balls and one strike to Skidmore, and that misses inside. Three balls and one strike. And the game-winning run, is not on board. Called strike two. Not going to show up the umpire like that. And Elena gives her thumbs up. That was a good pitch. I was on the black. So put him back in the box. The 3-2 off the hands. Taken cleanly at short on the way to first in time. A strong throw from Jack Saba. And one away. And pinch hitter coming up is Garrick Lee.
Your attention please now hitting for Viewmont, number 23, Garrick Lee.
And of course, Garrick, obviously named after the teammate of Babe Ruth, a member of Murderers Row, Lou Gehrig. The 1927 Yankees. Pitch well off the plate. And the pride of the Yankees, Lou Gehrig. And he looks at ball two. Ball three. That was not the same pitch that we saw before. I mean, I can't wait to watch baseball again when I have emotion tied to it. See if I see it differently. There's a 3-1 pitch called strike two. When you watch Major League Baseball, you have the K zone. You get to see it. And I can be mad because it shows it's off. And now the payoff pitch, chopped to short. Saba with it. Jack's throw is on time to get Garrick Lee. So now two away after two ground balls to the shortstop, Jack Saba. So to the top of the order we go. And the pitcher of record, Luke Jacobs.
Number 3, Luke Jacobs.
Yeah. Luke Jacobs looking to help himself and give himself the W today. He could go long ball, no doubt. Showing that power. Hits it right on the screws back through the box. And the game-winning run's now on first base. It's the good and the bad of when you go 8-9-1 in the last inning. Say that Layton is able to hang on here and end the inning with Cal Miller. You have used the best two hitters in an all-for-naught cause. But they're not thinking about that right now. All it takes is one swing from Cal Miller and good enough speed on the base paths. And Luke Jacobs, who does not have to freeze on a line drive, and now takes second base on the bounced curveball. So now the game-winning run is in scoring position. Base hit ends this game. And now they're going to give him an intentional walk. And they're going to make Berenstall come to the plate. So force at every base. That's the other reason to do this. You put a force at every base so you can go short way on the throw, not have to throw across the diamond. So I'll bring up Braxton Berenstall. And Braxton today reached on an error in the first, into a double play in the third, grounded out to second in the fifth. That, as I've said before, can end all of that with a base hit here and advance Viewmont. Jacobs goes, and Jacobs takes third. The third baseman was playing deep behind the bag. And Jacobs, we talk about a terrific athlete, outstanding quarterback, easily takes third. So now the game-winning run's a passed ball away. The 1-0. And it count now 2 balls and no strikes. Miles Layton's been terrific today. He's dealt with pressure and been able to handle it most of the day. Got out that bases loaded jam back in the 4th. The only one allowed in the 5th was off a sacrifice fly with Luke Jacobs at third base. The 2-0 wide the plate. Now 3 balls and no strikes. This is one of the things, if you're Brighton, you're telling Layton, hey, got a base open, we're okay. There's no reason to serve anything up here. Base hit's going to end this ball game if it's bases loaded or if it's runners on the corners. And now 3-0 in there for a called strike 1. On deck is Jackson Marble. Jackson is 2 for 3 today. So not out of the woods yet if you're Miles Layton, even if he walks him. (3-1), ball 4. Said not the worst thing when you fell behind 3-0. So bases loaded. Nothing changed for Brighton to force anywhere. You tell your middles, hey, short way. If you're third base, take it, throw it where it takes you. No reason to get crossed up where you're going with the ball. And at first base, step on it. Pitcher's at 102 pitches. Miles Layton. Remember the magic number if they were to continue is what, 110 if I remember right? Puts him at 4 days rest. So right now he's at 3 days rest before his next appearance. But certainly Brian's just going over situations. Hey, here's where we're going with the baseball. Anything in the air, telling your outfield, hey, anything in the air, we got to catch this thing. Lay out, do whatever you got to do. We're not worried about anything else that you normally worry about. Go get the ball. So Jackson Marble comes to the plate. He's mentioned 2 for 3 today, with 2 singles. Could advance Viewmont to the 1:30 game tomorrow. And that's wide of the plate. Breaking ball misses. About an 8-mile difference, a mile-an-hour difference between fastball, breaking ball. And now the 1-0. Strike 1. The sophomore, Miles Layton's been really good. But as mentioned, there's so many sophomores on this Brighton team. You can't just sing out, well, it's just a sophomore. There's a bunch of them. Almost all underclassmen other than their first baseman, Castor. And, of course, and even Jackson Johnson. The 1-0. Or pardon me, the 1-1. Now 2-1. That one just misses. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs, bases loaded. Game-ending run at third base. Chop to second. He get it cleanly. Handcuffed and able to recover to get the out. The game-ending run was 90 feet away, and I got to hand it to to Braxton Biesinger to stick with that one. He got handcuffed on that hop and able to get a strong throw to first. So we go to extras. Top of the 8th coming up. You're watching the 2023 5A State Baseball Tournament. So top of the 8th, top of the order. Jack Saba looks at strike 1. Saba has not reached in the 2 games he's appeared in here at Larry Miller Field. Be great to see him get a start here. Hit one on the screws. Right at someone. One ball and one strike to Saba. And now the 1-1. Hit well, right at short, knocked down. The throw to first, not in time. Outstanding effort from Cal Miller. We're going single on the official book. So it'll be an infield single for Jack Saba. It's a nice effort there from Miller. Knocked that ball down. I agree. He got it on the run, not on the throw. Knocked that ball down. That's a good play by Miller. So now they're going to try to bunt Saba over with Easton Fry. He fouls that one off. Can they get Saba into scoring position? Easton Fry, Riley Brown, Cooper Johnson. There's who's due up after the infield single for Jack Saba. Gets the monkey off his back from the week thus far. And now the 0-1. Bender swung through. Strike two. Not Fry, just got to shorten it up. Got to move the runner. That's his job here. It isn't about long balls or anything else. It's about moving the runner. Short lead from first for Saba. And it swung through the breaking ball again. The 71-mile-an-hour breaking ball. We saw one that was 64. I mean, yeah, that's the T-ball pitch. If it's in the zone, right? Well, it brings up Riley Brown with a runner on first. And you know when it's Riley Brown. Bright orange cleats, a 386 hitter, 24 RBIs on the year, 9 doubles, 1 triple, 5 home runs. And I don't blame Luke Jacobs. I'm throwing the breaking balls. These guys can actually show they can handle it. No reason to throw anything straight. Why would you throw a fastball to Pedro Serrano? Keep throwing them breaking balls. And now the 0-1. Fastball, woo! Buzzed the tower. And now Saba advances to second. So the go-ahead run in scoring position. With one out, Saba's got to freeze on a line drive. Got to see the ball through the infield. And also, does not have to advance on a ball to the left side. Some of the youngsters forget that. See a ground ball left side and they take off and get backdoored, or even worse is get tagged out. So now the 1-1. Brown waited on that one and fouls it off. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here for Riley Brown. Young sophomore, love to come through here. The 1-2. Hit sharply to third and foul. But Saba back at second. And for just a minute, for a split second there, thought maybe that'd be fair. But a good call there by Darryl Rogers, the third base ump. One ball and 2 strikes to Brown. I think we're seeing a breaking ball here. And it is, and hit well by Brown. This ball's going to get down. Saba's going to come in to score, and Brighton's going to take a 2-1 lead in the top of the 8th off of the bat of Riley Brown. You wear the orange cleats because you want the attention. You want the big moment. The kid came through, and Brighton with their first lead of bracket play.
25, Cooper Johnson.
So that brings up Cooper Johnson. And Johnson looking to extend the lead now. Looks to strike one. And now the 0-1 to Johnson. And it's lifted into right center field. Going to be a long run. It will be caught. Tag and go with Brown. And now he will be advanced to third. So it'll be 2 outs and a runner on third base. As that's going to bring up Braxton Basinger. So Basinger comes back in after being pinch run for by Easton Smith on the re-entry. And again, looking to extend the lead to 2 runs for Brighton. Jacobs wide of the plate. This is the last batter for Luke Jacobs. So no matter what happens, this is the last guy he'll face. And that pitch is wide of the plate. 2 balls and no strikes. This is his 110th pitch. And now the 2-0. Wide of the plate. 3 balls and no strikes. So no matter what happens here, Luke's got to come back. This will be the last guy he'll face. And the 3-0 in there for a called strike one. Three balls and 1 strike, 2 outs, and a runner on third here for the Bengals. That's in there, called strike 2. And we don't see anybody warming up for Brighton, and we don't see anybody ready going for Viewmont. That's just be someone in from the field. Saw Marble throw yesterday. I think he has, I don't know if he went that deep. They could not throw today. We'll see. And the payoff pitch lifted on the right field line. Fiamani's coming over and just out of play. So again, that pitch limit at 110, but you can finish the at-bat once you cross it. So again, payoff pitch, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the extender run at third. And that misses up. And so we'll draw a walk here for Braxton Basinger. And that will be the day for Luke Jacobs. And if his teammates can't come up, it'll be the last time he pitches for Viewmont. And unless they got to the championship day, you wouldn't be able to pitch anyway. But a terrific performance from Luke Jacobs. It's going to be done at 7 2/3. 2 runs off of 5 hits. And he is going to trade, probably go to the outfield. We'll see, maybe go to shortstop. But coming into pitch is going to be Jackson Marble. So while Marble warms up, we'll step aside. We'll be right back. You're watching the 2023 5A state tournament. So Jackson Marble will come in to throw. It'll be Luke Jacobs going to shortstop. And he'll move Cal Miller to third base. But Cooper Scott coming to the plate. Again, looking to extend the lead for Brighton. Oh, breaking ball there. He got him. Scott yet to reach today. In fact, 3 at-bats, he's grounded out to second base each time. And a big swing on that one. Swing through it. Not being cheated on that swing. Count of 1 ball and 1 strike. And now the 1-1 from Marble. Chopped foul. So go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. And then go early, trying to go a double steal. Is Hooper. And now he's going to come in the middle of the infield. And what you really want to do is just, no one's at second base. So they're trying to keep that run from scoring. Is either run him back to first and end it, which they almost did. That's all you're looking for. And then we'll get in first and third. But surrendering second base, now 2 runners in scoring position. And base hit scores 2. And he swings through it. It's all for naught. So nice job of Marble coming in and locking it down. But Brighton takes their first lead of bracket play as they take a 2-1 lead as we go to the bottom of the 8th. Last chance for Viewmont. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. Bottom of the 8th inning, and Brighton leads 2-1. With 5, 6, and 7 hitters coming up for Viewmont. Max Lee, Siona Fiamani, and Brody Hooper. So to get somebody on for Fiamani, and there we go. Anyway on. And the catcher, Max Lee, has been said for over 20 years. Seen Skird. Stayed in there, wore it on the shoulder. And the leadoff man is on. And now the courtesy runner will come on as well. Maybe not. So Fiamani will come to the plate with the game time run on first base. And it's ball 1. Fiamani is 1 for 3 today. Double down the right field line in the second. Bunted, flew out to the pitcher. And then grounded out to first his last time up. Looks at strike 1. 304 hitter, 25 runs driven in, 5 doubles, no homers thus far for Siona. Big swing, strike 2. Now time to shorten it up and put the ball in play. As we mentioned last inning, his job is to advance the runner. Siona holds off on that one. Runner goes, throws in time. Oh, and he lost the ball. He's trying to say it was on the exchange, but there's not an exchange and your hand's not coming to the glove. Yeah. Pitch was a ball, so it counts even at 2-2. And Brian Kocher comes and say it's on the exchange. Well, it's not an exchange when it's not coming to the exchange of your hand. Your hand's at your hip. It's on an exchange. Yeah. So Max Lee, the game time run is in scoring position here for Fiamani. 2 balls and 2 strikes, no outs. Bender misses. Siona, just a sophomore. Takes that one inside. Called strike 3. So Fiamani goes down on strikes, and now it's 1 out. And the second baseman, Brody Hooper, comes to the plate. Hooper is 1 for 3 today. He singled back in the fourth. As you check that, he reached on a fielder's choice back in the fourth. So 0 for 3. Reached in the fourth, stole a base in the fourth. But can extend the game with a base hit here. Looks at strike 2. And the 0-2 pitch. Misses up. And 1 to burn here for Josh Mawahini. Or Mawini. Josh Mawini. The bright side. And be able to knock it down. Can he get it the first in time? No. Beestinger's throw goes to the dugout, and the game-tying run comes in. Terrific job by Biesinger to get to that ball, but the errant throw scores the run, and we are tied at 2, and the game-winning run is on first with 1 out. And not only that, he may have come up a little limb off that throw. That was a terrific effort from Biesinger. And I love that Jack Saba is still pleading his case about the tag at second base. So Biesinger's going to have to come off the field as Carter Turley will replace him at second base. So now I'll bring up the designated hitter, Logan Skidmore. And Skidmore looks at strike 1. And Hooper had a steal back in the fourth inning. Don't know that you're going to see him on the run here. As in the bottom of the eighth inning with the game-tying run at first, Hooper going to stay and looks at, and Skidmore looks at ball 1. So count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. As Viewmont looking to move on to tomorrow's games. As Skidmore swings through that one, and it is 1 ball and 2 strikes for the designated hitter for Viewmont. And Hooper away from first, a game-winning run. Josh Mawini comes in relief after Layton did a great job. That pitch up and in. Layton goes 7 complete, giving up 1 run. And Luke Jacobs went 7 2/3 for Viewmont. But Hooper gets a good secondary lead, and that pitch is spoiled as it's fouled back by Logan Skidmore. And now the 2-2. That one misses up. So count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I mean, here's what Viewmont's got the potential to do. They have a chance to bring Luke Jacobs to the plate with a chance to win the ball game. This is the 8-hole hitter in Skidmore. Gehrig is on deck, I believe. This ball to the right side. It is going to extend the inning as Skidmore singles. And the game-winning run now in scoring position. And the 9-hole hitter coming up, and Luke Jacobs is on deck. Oh, mercy. It is Gage Cortman now coming and batting in the 9-hole. And bunting attempt, step down to first, not in time. Just got in there. Tag went in the middle. His hands were there. I will say this is one of the traditions of baseball I've never quite understood. I don't know what the argument does with an umpire, except for turn him on you. What'd you see? He was safe. You sure? Yeah. Cool. Then there's the time that actually it's justified. You go out there and go after it. Got it. But that one's not one of those. Get it? A little worked up. But back to the game we go. Gage Cortman. No. Yep, no balls and 1 strike. So runners on first and second. And again, this is the 9-hole hitter with 1 out. Looking for a ground ball, get out of the inning. And that's why they're paying attention to Hooper back there. Got to make him work at second base. But he's got to freeze on a line drive. So 1 out, base runner's got to freeze on a line drive. Corners are up, middle's even, playing for the double play. Cortman going to show bunt. The ball gets away. Pass ball, and everybody's moving up. So runners on second and third. And the game-winning run just 90 feet away. And if you're Brighton, I mean, pick your poison. If you get the out, let's go through this. So if you finish off the at-bat, get Gage Cortman, what do you do with Luke Jacobs? Right now you deal with the guy in the box. And if you're Viewmont, it's any way on here. Get a hit in the game. Walk, and you get your best hitter at the plate. The 1-1, wide of the plate, ball 2. Hey, now's the moment, one of the leaders on the team, to talk to your guy. Hey, let's just calm down. Find some strikes here. Pass ball, and then a little bit of an over pitch there. Settle back into this game. 2 balls and 1 strike, 1 out. Game-winning runs at third base. Now one misses down. Now 3 balls and 1 strike. They have an open base at first, but then you're going to deal with Luke Jacobs. The 3-1. And it's in there for a called strike 2. The infield drawn in to make the play at the plate. Getting a runner at third, and Hooper, he does not have to go. This ball's hit on the ground. See it through the infield. He has nowhere to go. You remind your guy at second base, hey, don't run him off. You're being smart. And if you're Brighton, come up firing on the infield. The 3-2, the bunt, and it's going to be a bunt out. It's the second one today we've had, matter of fact. No, the first one was in the 11 o'clock game. Jordan had a bunt third strike, and then we just had it here with Gage Cortman. So now here comes Luke Jacobs, And this was the thing I was talking about. If you're Brighton, if you walk Jacobs, they're not going to because you're going to have to deal with Cal Miller. Jacobs is doubled and singled in his last 2 at-bats. Strike 1. And now the 0-1 to Jacobs. Misses up. I promise you don't want to miss up with this kid. If you miss up above the letters. The 1-1. That ball down the left field line's tailing foul. And just a loud second strike. And now for Jacobs, stay short. And if you're Mawini, breaking balls. Steady dose of breaking balls for the next 3 pitches. The 1-2. Misses up and away. Trying to get him to chase. Doesn't chase the high cheese. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, and a game-winning run 90 feet away. Wide of the plate, ball 3. It's also the thing with Brian. Hey, base is open. We'll deal with the next guy. No reason to pipe something here to Jacobs and get a fresh count. The payoff pitch. Chopped to the first base side and through. And Viewmont will move on. Luke Jacobs with a walk-off single. And Viewmont plates 2 in the bottom of the 8th to take this one 3-2. And they will advance to the 1:30 game tomorrow afternoon. An absolutely valiant effort from Brighton today. Miles Layton pitched an absolute gem. They showed so much guts. This young crew from Brighton, bunch of sophomores, a couple of juniors and 1 senior, did an amazing job at bouncing back in this game and taking the lead. Riley Brown coming through with the RBI to take the lead. You think of Chase Beams coming through with a game-tying RBI single to score Easton Smith. I mean, did everything they could do. And that time, the best player on the field came through, and Luke Jacobs. For Viewmont, they will move on to play at 1:30 tomorrow. They will play the loser of the Woods Cross Lehigh game tomorrow at 1:30. But our Heidemann Associates player of the game is Luke Jacobs. No doubt, pitches a great game, comes through at the plate, comes through with a game-winning hit in the bottom of the 8th inning. And just a spectacular game from Luke Jacobs. But again, congratulations to Brighton on a spectacular year. They're going to be frustrated and everything else, but man, they learned a lot. This young group is going to be back. Well, so many of those guys will be back here next year. Excited to see the growth and development of them. But to Viewmont, congratulations. Bouncing back from yesterday's loss, falling behind in this one in the 8th inning to plate the 2 runs to win. Takes a lot. Congratulations to Viewmont. Again, our final score, the Viewmont Vikings 3, the Brighton Bengals 2. For Addison Grayson and for Jaron Mulford, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament on your online home for state championships, KSLSports.com.